what you've been up to.
I'm going to be careful how you talk to me.
It's all right.
Nothing you'll say will stop us.
I know where to find you, Sean!
You can't do this to us.
I'm giving you a choice.
Harry, what can I get you, mate?
Ah, pint of the usual, please now.
You up to his usual tricks again?
Nothing I can't handle.
I think he knows.
We've been through this. We've got no one to look after him, and the hotel doesn't take dogs.
That one in Torquay does.
You have been promising to take me back to France forever. La Rochelle? 2003?
It's just... Well, it wasn't exactly a roaring success the last time we put him in Kent.
C'est pourquoi il y a une séance d'initiation au chenil aujourd'hui, pour qu'il s'y habitue.
Bonjour, Nelson.
Morning, monsieur. There's been a body found up at the Wyams Equestrian Centre.
We'll be back to speak to you later.
What have we got?
The stable manager, Roderick Barkham, found the body when he was opening up this morning. In here. His name is Harry Wyam. He owns this place. Lives up at the manor house.
Time of death?
Sometime between 10 and midnight last night.
Morning, Cam.
Morning.
I'm sure this wasn't a tragic accident, trampled to death by his horse.
He was certainly trampled by it. Whether or not it's the cause of death, jury's still out on that one. Take a look at this. We found a bullet lodged in a beam over here. It was fired recently.
Any firearms injuries to the victim?
Nothing obvious.
Any evidence of a struggle or of his attacker?
Well, that's what's strange. Apart from the bullet, there's no sign of an intruder or any confrontation.
Get uniform to conduct a search. Whoever did this might have disposed of the gun nearby. Let's talk to the stable manager. Thank you, Cam. How long had you worked for Harry Wyam?
Just over 6 months. I worked for his dad for nearly 20 years.
Harry recently took over the business after his father Jasper retired.
You work here too, Mrs. Barkham?
Came here on holiday 12 years ago. Never left.
Where were you both last night?
I knocked off about 8. Went up to the house for a hot bath.
I was manning our stall until about 10 and then came back.
You have a stall at the Harvest Fair?
The stables have been doing one for years. Harvest Fair's a big deal around here. Attracts all sorts.
Is the livestock here valuable?
Yeah, some of it. We stable some of the top eventing horses in the county. Others, like Murphy here, just old nags. But we love them all the same, don't we, boy?
Have you had any trouble here in the past? Break-ins, thefts?
I was a champion mare stolen a few years ago. That's when we had all the security upgraded.
Did Mr. Wyam have any enemies? Anyone who might wish him harm?
A couple of disgruntled villagers, I suppose.
Why is that?
Well, most of them are Wyam's tenants. Didn't like Harry's big plans for the place.
What plans?
Build a world-class equestrian centre and arena. He wanted the village to be all posh hotels and high-end facilities. He already served notice on the tenants. Bought the green.
Do Harry's parents live in the manor house?
Yes.
Thank you.
Don't look so worried.
We were both here all night. Oh, my darling boy.
I know this is a difficult time for you both, but we have to ask a few more questions.
Anything we can do to help, Inspector?
You recently gave your son control of the business. I understand that caused some problems with villagers.
Some people object to change. I gave Harry my full support.
Harry was a wonderful son.
We'll need access to all of his personal papers.
Of course.
Amy keeps asking where her dad is. I don't know what to say.
This is Beth. Harry's sister.
And is that Amy?
Harry's daughter.
And Amy's mother?
Jessica Myerscough. They're divorced.
Harry got custody of Amy.
And where's her mother now?
She lives in the village.
Did any of you hear anything out of the ordinary last night?
No.
Just that damn fun fair until God knows when.
Do you have any guns on site, Mr. Wyam?
Yes, several. They're all kept in our gun store.
We'll need to get a ballistics team to check them. When was the last time you saw your brother?
Yesterday. He was off to the pub. Some of the villagers wanted answers from him.
Yeah, Rowena Dealey. Yes, I've spoken to you before. I'm interested in making an appointment.
Rowena?
I'll have to call you back.
Harry Wyam is dead.
Yeah, I know. I told them I was here. Well, my mum and dad were here. What could I tell them? I need to see you. No, I need to see you.
Was Harry a regular, Mr. Dealey?
Try and keep him away.
Was he in last night?
Yeah, he came in early, stayed till closing.
I understand Harry was at odds with some of the villagers over his plans. Did your pub feature in them?
He made an offer to buy the place, but we said no.
was all very amicable.
Was there anyone in particular who was opposed to his plans?
Clara Myerscough, the local vet. She wasn't happy at all. Harry was planning to evict her.
Clara Myerscough, any relation to Jessica?
Yeah, that's her mother. And then there's Butch Nevins, of course.
Mr. Wall of Death.
Harry told him that this year would be his last.
He can't have been happy about that.
Well, the fair didn't really feature in Harry's plans for the future. Most of the ride owners were up in arms about it, but it's Butch and his sons who always make themselves heard.
Harry had a run-in with Butch's son Sean last night.
Sounds like our Mr. Wyam had enemies all over the place.
I'll go to the fair, speak to the Nevins, see if I can shed any light on their argument with Harry Wyam.
I'll speak to Clara and Jessica Myerscough.
Rowena!
Mr. Nevins.
How do you describe your relationship with your ex-husband, Miss Myerscough?
Good. We both just want what's best for Amy.
When was the last time you spoke to him?
Day before yesterday on the phone. It's Amy's birthday soon.
How often do you see your daughter?
Not at all. I don't have access at the moment.
That must be tough.
I wasn't exactly what you call a model mum. But I'm not that person anymore. I'm doing everything I can to be part of Amy's life again. Is there anything else? Because I really need to call my daughter.
No, that'll be all for now, thank you. I would like to speak to your mother, though, if I may.
Thank you. So, all good, I think. See you next week. Did you manage to speak to her yet?
Mum, this is D.S. Nelson. He'd like to ask you a couple of questions.
So, you and your sons run the Wall of Death together?
Day arrives with me. Sean looks after our ghost train.
You attend this harvest fair every year, Mr. Nevins?
Yeah, only for the last 40 plus. Been coming here since I was a kid. Smell that, Inspector? Petrol fumes and candy floss. Beats any expensive perfume.
You must have got to know the Wyams pretty well, then, over the years.
Well enough.
How would you describe your relationship with Harry Wyam?
Like an old married couple. Constantly arguing and no sex.
Bodge.
Sorry, yeah. Poor sod.
Have you had one of these arguments recently?
Oh, no, that was nothing. He was just having a go at me about the noise of my motorbikes disturbing his horses.
Everyone loves a fun fair till they have to live next to one.
It wasn't anything to do with Harry buying the village green and making this everyone's last harvest fair?
Now that you mention it, that topic of conversation did come up.
That must have been a blow.
Takes more than that to trouble us, Inspector.
If the locals want to have us at the fair, there is nothing the Wyams can do about it.
It looks like that won't be a problem, now that Harry Wyam's not here to stand in your way.
Yes, it was a shock when Harry served us notice, but I'd already been scouting around for alternatives. He said he wanted to make this place more state-of-the-art.
Wouldn't moving your business have been difficult?
We specialise in horses. It's always work.
Are the Wyams one of your clients?
They used to be, before the divorce. Harry's decision to evict us was not about business.
You think he did it to affect Jessica's custody chances?
I wouldn't put it past him. He always wanted to make life as difficult as possible for Jess.
You're her childminder. It's Friday. You pick her up from school today, right?
Jess.
Serena wouldn't even need to know.
If she ever found out.
Amy needs me.
She's just lost her dad. I thought you were on my side.
I am. But you shouldn't do anything rash.
Surely you, of all people, understand. I need to make sure my little girl's okay.
Excuse me.
Feeling brave, sir?
I try my best. DCI Barnaby, Causton CID. Sean Nevins?
Yeah.
I need to ask you about an argument you had with Harry Wyam last night.
It wasn't an argument. He just wanted to know where Dad was, that's all.
Really? No crossed words?
Nope.
You've torn your top. How did that happen?
Caught it, working on the road.
When was that?
This morning, when we were checking it over. I've told him not to jump the cars.
And you are?
Dale Nevins. This one's older and better looking brother.
Did Harry Wyam come to the fair last night?
No, you never find him here.
Don't think it's really his thing.
So after seeing him at the pub, you didn't see him again?
How could he? We were both here all night.
There was clearly tension between the Nevins and the Wyams, but they're all closing ranks. Run them through the database, see what comes back.
Sure. Jessica Myerscough claimed a divorce was amicable, but she was being denied access to her daughter. It doesn't add up. I'll look into it.
You okay?
It's been a nightmare. The police have been at the house and the stables all day.
Yeah, they've been calling around here too. Listen. If I needed you to, would you back me up?
How do you mean?
Well, the police are going to ask a lot of questions, so I need to know you'll stand by me.
Of course I will. You told me you had nothing to do with it.
I know, but just in case. You trust me, don't you?
You know I do.
They said they'd never had to exclude a dog before. Wound up all the other dogs and refused to eat. They blamed the owners.
I've heard mixed reports about that place.
Yeah, you're right. We'll find somewhere else.
Better find somewhere soon, or we can say au revoir to La Rochelle. Morning, Sarah.
Ready, sir?
See you later.
Oh, mwah. See you later.
Now you behave yourself.
Sykes in the doghouse?
If only. I'll tell you on the way.
We found a mysterious red substance on Harry Wyam's clothing. It appears to be fake blood.
Fake blood?
Yes, mixed with a special type of UV paint. Very specific in its composition so that it reacts to UV light. It's commonly supplied to fun fairs.
So it's possible Harry Wyam did go up to the fun fair after all.
Maybe. Do we have a cause of death?
Yes, the horse didn't kill Harry Wyam.
What did?
Ketamine. The horse tranquilizer. He was given a lethal dose.
Was it injected?
No, there are no visible puncture marks on his body.
So how did they get into his system?
The ketamine was present in his stomach contents, along with alcohol. I'd say it was ingested before he was pulled into the stable.
Would ketamine potentially be useful to horse thieves?
Possibly. It would immobilize a panicking animal.
Why go to such elaborate lengths?
I don't know. We need to find out where this ketamine came from. And there's one place round here we know will stock it.
Right. Thank you very much. Yep, bye. Jessica's got a police record. Since Harry was awarded custody, she's confronted him several times, violently. So the Wyams placed a restraining order on her. Now she's not allowed within 200 metres of her daughter.
Well, that's hardly the amicable picture Jessica painted yesterday. Get a warrant and a team and go to the fairground. I want every inch of it searched. That gun must be somewhere. I'll go and speak to the Myerscoffs. Who has access to the ketamine?
Only myself and Jessica. It's a controlled substance. Every usage has to be recorded according to strict rules.
Have you noticed any of it missing lately? Or any interference with your supplies?
No.
I'll need to look at your records.
Of course.
And my officers will need access to your stores.
Jess, would you get the inspector the log? What's all this about?
Harry Wyam was killed with a lethal dose of ketamine. We need to establish whether it came from here.
There you go.
Oh, I'm not hungry. Thanks.
Since when? Come on, get it down,
Oh, are you coming down with something?
I think he is. Look at his eyes. He hasn't had a good sleep in days. Must be in love.
All right, leave him alone, you lot. You're only joking.
Trouble is, we're never coming back here, are we?
Where'd you get that from?
I know what Harry said. I don't imagine old man Wyam will be any different.
No, well, you leave Jasper to me. As far as I'm concerned, it's business as usual. Beth, come and have some breakfast.
All right.
All right, love. Come and join us. Why don't you sit there, get the girl a plate?
Go on, sit yourself down.
I better get going. I've got to check the bike for the first show.
Sorry about your brother. You know you're always welcome here, don't you?
Thanks.
What do they want?
Morning, Mrs. Nevins.
This is everything for the past 3 months. Will that do?
Yes, thank you. Why didn't you tell us the truth about your divorce, Miss Myerscoff? You didn't think to mention that your behaviour had resulted in a restraining order?
You don't understand. The Wyams, they made stuff up. They don't want me in Amy's life.
So why not be honest from the start?
Look, they've taken my daughter away from me. I was angry. I made mistakes. All I want is my daughter back.
And now Harry's dead, I'm assuming you stand a pretty good chance of that happening.
The old boys were only here yesterday, snooping about. Forget something, did they? Afraid I left my reading glasses in my smoking jacket. It's a search warrant, Mr. Nevins. Fine. It's your time you're wasting. Come on.
If you're up to anything, Butch Nevins, you need to tell me now.
There's nothing to tell.
Beth's not in her room.
Oh, she said something about going over to the fair.
And you let her? After everything that's been going on around here.
Sure, I can't make you a cup of tea. Slice of cake, maybe.
Oh, come on! Sir?
Sir, I found the gun under Sean Nevin's ghost train.
Where are you taking my son? He's merely helping us with our inquiries, Mr. Nevins.
My boy's done nothing wrong.
And he's got nothing to worry about.
Oh my God.
Morning, Jasper. A long time since you've graced us with an audience.
Get in the car.
I'm not going anywhere until I know Sean's all right.
Sure. The boy they've just arrested.
Why don't we all just calm down, eh, Jasper?
God help you if I find out that your son had anything to do with Harry's death.
You better watch your mouth, old man.
Beth, come here.
I think you better go with your dad now, love.
This isn't over.
No, it isn't. You want to be careful you don't lose her, too. We found some marks on your top. UV paint. Where did they come from?
We use it on the ghost train.
Is it used anywhere else?
Couldn't tell you.
Well, I can tell you we've not found it anywhere else at the fair. You told me that you didn't see Harry Wyam at the fair on the night he died, is that right?
Yep.
So can you explain how he ended up with your UV paint on his clothing?
Or why we found this weapon hidden underneath your fairground ride.
That's not mine. I swear, I've never seen that before in my life.
Why don't you tell us what really happened on the night Harry died?
I was with Beth.
Beth Wyam?
You can ask her if you don't believe me.
We will. Don't you think it's time you told us the truth? How did Harry get that paint on him?
It was nothing.
What was nothing?
We had a fight. Me and Harry, but he started it.
Because he found out about you and his sister?
Yeah. He threatened me outside the pub, and then he followed me to the fair later and picked a fight. He was drunk. He started pushing me, and so I pushed him back and he fell over, but I swear that was it. He was fine when he left.
What the hell she got herself mixed up in? She was never like this before. They're using her like they do everyone.
You can't make her decisions for her. You'll only push her away.
You can't just do nothing.
She's young. She thinks she's in love.
Exactly. We both know what happens to teenage girls who think they're in love.
Beth Wyam's confirmed Sean's alibi.
And let him go, but let's keep a close eye on him.
Yeah, Sean Nevins is good to go. Okay, thanks.
So we've got a community up in arms about Harry's plans.
And Harry's in conflict with the Nevins and the Myers-Koffs over personal reasons.
There's also the question about Harry's death. We need to establish where the ketamine came from. Have you checked the Myers-Koffs' records?
I have. There's no discrepancies. But we do have a lead on the weapon. Ballistics have confirmed it was the one discharged at the stables where we found Harry's body. But forensics couldn't find any usable prints on it.
Find out where it came from. We trace that gun, we find the killer.
I'm just trying to protect you.
He's decent, kind, caring. What's so bad about that?
It's for your own good. Try and understand.
I love him. What's so bad about the Nevins?
Just keep away from them.
Until you give me a good reason, that's not going to happen.
Butch!
All right, Jerry?
Rod was asking where I was the night Harry died. He found out I wasn't on the store.
Well, what'd you tell him?
I made up some excuse about running out of stock, had to go back to the stables.
He believed you?
I'm sure he knows something.
No one knows anything, unless we tell him, okay? Hey, relax, Jerry. Everything will be fine. You should go. All right, son?
Yeah, of course. They let me out, didn't they?
Hey, come here. Let's find your mum.
Here's the full path report on Harry Wyam.
Thanks, Cam.
Canine care. You looking for a career change?
Barnaby and Sarah are stuck for a dog sitter when they go on holiday next week, so I thought I'd offer to help out.
With Barnaby away, are you sure you'll have enough time?
That's why I'm reading up about it now.
You know, a dog needs companionship. Someone working regular hours. Someone like me.
You live in a flat
Near a park. You live in a B&B.
with a garden.
I grew up with 4 red setters and a Labrador. It's a big responsibility.
Cam.
I was just trying to help.
I don't know what you think you might have seen earlier, but there is nothing in it.
Butch Nevins, I have known you for 40 years. Don't tell me what I saw.
Just keep your nose out of my business.
Jasper? What is it?
Stop!
Jasper? Jasper! Jasper! Oh, no!
Okay, thanks. 5 horses were stolen. A couple of them worth 30 grand.
Any witnesses?
Jasper Wyam said he saw them being driven off in a horse box, but he only managed to clock 3 digits of the license plate. CDV.
Get a uniform to set up some roadblocks. There's a chance they haven't yet been moved out of the area.
Sir.
Well,
Mr. Wyam.
my son's dead. Now this.
Third client today taking their horses away.
Reputation's everything in this game, Inspector. This could ruin us. Butch Nevins must be laughing.
Why do you say that?
These things always seem to happen when he shows up.
I'd like a list of all the horses stabled here and their registered owners. Those that have been stolen and those left behind. Good morning, Mrs. Barkham. Mr. Barkham?
Inspector? Who?
You were both here last night?
Up at the cottage, yeah.
Did you hear anything?
No?
The first we knew about was when Jasper rang. After he rang your lot, of course.
Well, how did they get in? You said you'd improved the security after the last break-in.
They disabled the cameras. The electric gate, too. Whoever did it were pros.
With a good knowledge of the Wyam security systems.
There's always people coming and going around here, Inspector. Cameras are visible. If someone wants to get in, they'll find a way.
And get out with 5 horses.
No one feels worse than me about this, Inspector. I'd never do anything to hurt the Wyams.
Inspector?
Sir, there's something you should see.
Ketamine, still full.
Maybe Harry's death was a horse theft gone wrong. Someone's come back to finish the job.
Get this over to Cam. Let's see if she can tell us anything.
Sir. Thank you. Nelson? Thank you. Sir, Clara Myerscough was broken into last night.
First I knew about it was when I came down this morning to open up and was confronted by this.
All of the controlled substances have gone, including the ketamine. Where were you both last night?
Home.
I was out on a job, a foal up at Melton.
Did either of you go up to the Wyham stables yesterday?
No, of course not.
We're not exactly welcome there, Inspector. Now, if you will excuse me, I need to start my rounds. I have clients to see.
Before you go, I'd be grateful if you could provide details of your whereabouts in the last 24 hours, Dr. Myerscough.
Of course.
The serial number on the file of ketamine found at the Wyhams matches what was stolen from Clara Myerscough's practice last night. But we still haven't found anything else at the vet's linking to Harry's murder.
Sir, come and look at this.
What am I looking at?
Case notes. The previous theft at the Wyhams. The Nevins were questioned, but nothing was proved. So I pulled up other instances of livestock theft in the country and matched them against the Nevins' movements. There's an interesting correlation.
So I see. These other thefts occurred at the same time as the Nevins' Wall of Death was in town. Were charges ever brought?
Nothing. But they were questioned multiple times.
Let's see where Butch Nevins was last night.
No, they didn't take Harlequin, but he's pretty shaken up. I really need you to come up here. Will you please?
5 years ago, you were questioned in connection with a horse theft over at the Wyham estate.
And never charged.
How about Melton, 9 months ago? Abbas Vale, 6 months ago. Stelthorpe, 13 months ago.
Yeah, we were in all those places, sure.
At the exact same time that some livestock was stolen.
We were also in dozens of other places where no livestock was stolen and no crimes were committed. Are you going to list those too?
Any crime that occurs, the Nevins must have done it, right? That's also why we're never charged, because there's never any truth in it. Our house is clean, Inspector.
So you say, Mr. Nevins, and yet the evidence keeps on bringing us back to your door.
What do you think? He's in such a state this morning.
What's going on?
I kept Clara on to look after Harlequin.
What? After everything that's happened?
She's my oldest friend. I wasn't just going to throw that all away.
I don't trust her. Look at the trouble Jessica's caused. Think of Amy.
That's exactly what I am doing.
I shall go.
No, you don't have to.
This doesn't change anything. The eviction notice still stands. I think the sooner you and your daughter leave, the better. For all our sakes.
I'll talk to him.
Thank you. I don't know how you've lived with him all these years.
You don't know the half of it.
Sir, got some news on Niall and Rowena Dealey. Tech found some email exchanges between Harry and Rowena. It looks like she was in negotiations to sell the pub after all. But the deal went sour. Rowena was far from happy about it.
Strong words, but that's hardly a motive for murder.
Agreed. But this might be. One of the horses taken from the Wyhams used to belong to Rowena. But she was so far behind paying her stable fees that Harry effectively repossessed it.
Harry Wyham agreed to waive our stabling fees if we signed her over to him.
Is Lightning a valuable horse?
Not in monetary terms.
It must have been upsetting when you had to let her go then.
Yeah, it was actually. That horse meant a lot to us. What's your point?
It must have grated that the person who took your horse was also the person you were arguing with over the sale of the pub.
Sorry, what are you talking about?
Threatening emails between Rowena and Harry Wyam?
Ro?
I was going to tell you. I agreed a price with him, and then at the last minute he reneged.
We agreed we weren't going to sell. This was supposed to be our fresh start.
The sale that you agreed with Harry was a lot less than the market value. Why were you even considering it?
I was fighting for our future. We've sunk every penny we have into this place, and it isn't working. I had to act before we lost everything.
I can't even begin to imagine what you are going through. It's awful. And what happened to Harry and... How's Amy doing?
I don't think she really understands yet.
Let me help. She needs her family around. I'm her grandmother too, and she still has a mother who loves her.
I don't think that's a very good idea.
Oh, come on, Serena. Surely this has gone on long enough.
Look, you know I can't agree to that.
Jessica has changed. Amy has already lost her dad. You want to take her mother away as well?
Look, I can't trust her. I'm sorry.
You have just told me about the pain of losing a child, and now you are going to inflict that upon somebody else.
That's hardly the same thing. I think you should go.
We all make mistakes, Serena. Sometimes mistakes have consequences.
This was our dream. This is what we talked about.
No, this was your dream. I didn't talk about losing everything on a sinking business. Do you have any idea of the financial mess we're in?
But we can turn it around, can't we? We've got enough, haven't we?
If we get out now, we can buy somewhere else and still have enough left over.
What for?
I've found a doctor. Thinks I've got a really good chance, but it's going to cost thousands, not hundreds.
No.
This could be our last chance. My last chance to be a mum.
I'm not going through that again, Ro. I can't.
So, do you think she'll like it?
I think she's going to love it. I talked to Serena.
Why did you do that?
I thought she'd listen now that Harry's...
What happened?
She didn't agree, but she will. We'll get there.
You should have asked me first. We're not supposed to talk to them.
I was just trying to help.
How, by screwing up my chances?
Just stop it. You're in this position because of what you did. Take some responsibility for once. Perhaps Serena's right. Maybe you just can't be trusted yet.
Wow. I don't believe it. You're on their side, aren't you?
Jess! Jess!
Sykes?
Amongst other things.
Look, he'll be fine. The new kennels are lovely.
I know, it's just, he's never been away from us for this long before.
Yeah, and if you want to go on holiday, then he's going to have to get used to it.
Chicken?
Des cuits de grand oui.
Frog's legs.
Yeah. I thought I'd get us into the holiday spirit.
Maybe I'll just go down there and check that he's okay.
No, you're worrying about nothing.
John, that was the kennels. Sykes has... escaped.
I thought she was on my side, at least.
She is. She's doing everything she can to support you.
Is she? I need money. What chance do I have against the Wyams?
Don't give up. Not now.
You don't understand. It's a complete mess. I've got to do something about it.
Jess?
That is why I wanted to talk to you before I went to Serena. I have to go. Jessica? Jess? Jess? Jessica?
She was discovered by her daughter this morning. Claims she found the door unlocked.
What happened here, Cam?
It appears the victim was incapacitated with a cattle prod and then drowned.
Was it an opportunistic attack?
It's likely. The killer seems to have improvised, used whatever's come to hand as a weapon. But no sign of the forced entry.
First her business is targeted, then she is. Where's Jessica?
This way.
I bought them for Amy. When she comes to visit.
Jessica, I need to ask you some questions. When did you last see your mother?
Last night,
Here in the surgery?
upstairs. We had an argument.
What was it about?
Amy. She said it was all my fault. She was right.
Then what happened?
I just had to get out. I went to the pub, and when I came back, I went straight upstairs. See, Mum had already gone up. And when I got up this morning, still no sign of her.
Had you noticed anything different or strange about your mother's behaviour lately?
No, nothing. Do you think this has something to do with the break-in? What if they come back?
You'll have my preliminary report in the next couple of hours. I'll get the PM done ASAP.
Thanks, Cam.
Oh, I hear you're having some trouble finding someone to look after Sykes while you're away.
We need to find this murderer, or I won't be going anywhere.
Well, it would be no trouble.
Thank you, Cam.
Happy to help.
We'll get a full assessment from Socko later, but it's too early for them to draw any conclusions.
Find out what you can about both Clara and Jessica's activities. We need to know if there's a link between them and the horse theft, and why Clara was targeted.
Yes, Nelson?
Really?
Thank you. We've found the horses.
one, all right. Phone in the license plate, find out who this belongs to. Someone left in a hurry.
The black mare is missing. Lightning. The one Harry Wyam took from Marina Dealey.
How far would someone go to get their beloved horse back, I wonder?
It's a bit extreme, isn't it?
Never underestimate the bond between animal and owner, Nelson. Get all this bagged up and over to Cam. Midsomer Nectar, organic beer. I've not seen this before. See if we can find out where this came from.
We'll do so.
Do you know how you measure a horse's height? In hands. Do you know how many hands you are?
2.
All right, darling. You heard about Clara?
Yes.
You were late back from your ride last night.
What are you suggesting?
Nothing. But the police are bound to ask questions. I mean, it's no secret you and she didn't see eye to eye.
I wanted her and her daughter gone. But I'd never lay a finger on them.
See you later, Granny.
Yeah, we stock that.
Do you recall who you sold any to recently?
Not off the top of my head, no. Sorry.
Could have been anyone. Fairweek's pretty mad.
What makes you think it came from here anyway?
At the brewery, they told us this is the only pub in the area they supply to.
Really?
They also told us you've only ordered 2 cases. We found 6 bottles, presumably bought together. Cast your minds back.
Sorry, can't help.
We'll need to take your fingerprints.
Why?
The bottles were recovered from a crime scene connected to an ongoing murder inquiry. Where were you both this morning?
Well, I was here. Customers don't serve themselves.
I was looking after Amy. Look, whatever it is you're insinuating.
We've recovered all of the Wyam's missing horses, apart from Lightning. I imagine you must have missed her a great deal.
Yes, she was important to me.
Important enough for you to want to steal her back?
I'd love to get Lightning back, Inspector, but I'm not about to break the law.
Hi, Cam.
Hi. Midsomer Nectar. I'm more of a G&T girl myself, but always nice to be bought a drink.
Well, it might be connected to the Harry Wyam murder case.
Okay, I'll see what I can get.
Thank you.
I've solved your problem, by the way,
Sorry?
with Sykes. I told Barnaby I'd take him, so you don't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah, but I was going to offer.
Well, I suppose you still could.
Yeah, well, maybe I will. May the best dog sitter win.
What? How the hell did that happen?
Look, don't call me again. Got it?
Hey. Hey, we've got a show in 5 minutes.
Sorry, you're on your own. Something's come up.
Ah, Nelson. Did Rowena and Niles' alibi check out?
I'm still looking into that, but I did get some news on the horse box. It was registered to a Mr. Adam Thorpe. However, he claims to have sold it just last week for cash.
Who to?
To a Mr. Nevins.
All right, hold your horses.
Funny you should say that.
The owner said he sold it to a Mr. Nevins a week ago.
Well, I buy and sell all sorts of stuff. For family, friends, most of it for cash, sight unseen.
Including horse boxes?
Yes. Look, I'm not trying to be difficult, Inspector. I just need to look back through my records.
Do that. I'll get one of my officers to assist you. Are Sean and Dale here?
Not seen them.
We'll need to speak to them too.
Listen, Inspector.
Can you account for your whereabouts last night?
I was here with Trina.
Is that right, Mrs. Nevins? Mrs. Nevins, Clara Myerscough was murdered last night. I'd encourage you to tell us the truth.
Tell him, love.
No, not this time.
Trina, come on now. I was here with you all night.
No, you weren't. Not last night.
Mrs. Nevins?
He sneaked back at about 2 o'clock this morning. He was out before then.
Trina, don't do this.
Where were you, Mr. Nevins?
I asked you what you were up to. Why couldn't you just tell me?
I had nothing to do with Clara. I was with Jerry Barkham from the Equestrian Centre.
Thank you.
You promised me this would never happen again.
Right, thanks. That was Cam. She's matched the fingerprints on the beer bottles found in the woods.
Who do they belong to?
Roderick Barkham.
Why would you do a stupid thing like that?
Because I am sick of feeling second best! You carrying on with Butch! Harry treating me like that! I was trying to prove myself. Get us away from here.
How long have you known?
It doesn't matter.
You have to understand. This place, the Wyams, they always came first for you. It was like you were always proving yourself to them, not me.
You coming with me or what? Fine. Butch is welcome to you.
What was all that about before? Oi, I'm talking to you. The police have been sniffing around asking some awkward questions about a horse box.
Not my problem.
Well, it will be if they find anything.
I reckon it's time you stopped worrying about me and took a look at yourself.
What do you mean by that?
You're getting a bit old for it, aren't you? You don't deserve mine.
Watch your mouth, son. I'm not in the mood.
Yeah. You know, when I was a kid, teachers used to ask me what I wanted to be when I grew up. And I told them I wanted to be just like my old man. How things change.
You know, I was wanting a son I could be proud of. Looks like I failed at that too.
I had nothing to do with stealing any horses!
Sit down, Mr. Barkham.
Closer to the table, please. For the tape.
Bear?
Thank you.
Mr. Barkham, we found some discarded beer bottles up there. Your fingerprints are all over them.
I'm often up there. I like the quiet.
You had all of your clothes in the car, too. Off somewhere in a hurry?
My wife. I was leaving her. Found out she was seeing someone else.
The only thing I can't figure out is why you'd do it. You'd worked for the Wyams for 20 years. Why betray that loyalty?
Yeah, well, why be loyal to people who aren't loyal to you?
Who, the Wyams?
Harry was making me redundant. I devoted my life to those stables, and he was just gonna throw me on the scrap heap.
Where did the ketamine come from?
I don't know. I had nothing to do with that.
Mr. Barkham, the robbery you participated in could be linked to a double murder. You need to tell us what you know.
I was just up in the woods to look after the horses. They were meant to be long gone. But what through roadblocks and everything, we couldn't move them, so... I didn't steal them. I helped. I took out the CCTV. Disabled the gates.
Helped who?
No comment.
Mr. Barkham, who else was involved?
No, sorry, Inspector. I've said my piece. I've got no more from me.
That's your prerogative. But it won't do you any favors when it gets to court.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to present this year's Harvest Queen,
Beth Wyam!
You can't just leave. We're a family. I can't stay. Not with Dad. Tomorrow I'm gone, that's it.
Yeah, but it will kill Mum.
It's not my fault she doesn't have the guts to leave the cheating sod.
I know what you did.
Keep your mouth shut.
Check Rod Barkham's phone and computer. If he's not going to give up his accomplices, we'll need to find them ourselves.
Will do. I think Rod's telling the truth about the break-in at the vet's, though. Something not right about it. Look, the thieves only took the controlled substances from the drugstore. They knew what they were after, and they knew where to find it, yet they turned the place over in a seemingly haphazard way. It doesn't stack up.
You think the burglary was staged?
Possible, yeah.
Jessica provided a witness statement, didn't she? Speak to her again.
Sir, forensics have completed their report on the horse box. Guess whose fingerprints are all over it?
Mr. Nevins?
Mr. Dale Nevins.
You go to the vets and speak to Jessica. I'll find Dale. If he stole the Wyams' horses, what else is he capable of doing?
Hello? Miss Myerscough? Jessica? Is everything okay?
Yes. I just went out for a walk.
Secure the fair's perimeter. No one in or out. I want interviews and statements from everyone on site. What can you tell us, Cam?
Time of death within the last 2 or 3 hours. Cause of death would appear obvious. In this case, I expect what you see is what you get. Again, the killers use whatever's come to hand. Nothing premeditated about this.
They're getting impulsive. Let me know if you find anything else.
Will do.
Did you speak to Jessica Myerscough?
She seemed pretty shaken up. Claims she'd been out for a walk.
We need to know whether she came up here.
I'll bring her in for questioning.
Please.
No, hon. You're asking too much. Serena trusts me.
You have to. This is my last chance. You're the only one who truly understands, Ro. Please.
Yeah, I saw him earlier tonight. We had an argument. God, the things I said to him.
Did you know that Dale was involved in the horse theft at the Wyams farm?
No, I sort of guessed. He was getting far too big for his boots. I should have slapped him down long ago.
Is that how you deal with things, Mr. Nevins?
What the hell do you mean by that?
Your business, your reputation, they mean a great deal to you, don't they? How far would you go to protect them?
The only person who's threatened my reputation is sitting in that big manor house, Inspector. So why are you here and not speaking with Jasper Wyam? Jessica Myerscough's missing, sir. She bolted before we got there.
Put a call out. We need to find her.
Is that it? I'm just gonna leave it to the police, not do anything.
We have to hold it together.
No, Dale's dead, Mum!
Do anything stupid!
Sean's right, we can't do nothing. It's time this ended once and for all. Time we talked.
Any news on Jessica Myerscough?
Not yet, but Dale's voicemail messages confirm that Jessica masterminded the theft up at the Wyams.
She staged the break-in at the vets and provided the ketamine. So what's her motive?
She needed money to fight the custody battle.
Or perhaps it was revenge on the Wyams for not letting her near her daughter. She's clearly desperate. We'll have to find her.
I've got an update on the gun as well. The Met have matched it to one involved in several crimes in East London. We just need to find a link.
There must be something more. All this trouble started when the fair arrived, and now both families have lost their oldest sons. What if this feud between the two families goes much deeper than we thought?
Jasper will be home any minute.
You still kept it after all these years. Can't imagine Jasper being too chuffed about it.
He's a lot more understanding than people think.
We both know that's not true, Serena. Earliest I can find of any fallout between the two families is 1980. Jasper Wyam didn't seem to have a problem with the Nevins before then. Then a whole catalogue of stuff. Official complaints about the Nevins. Noise, pollution, traffic. Anything they could accuse them of.
All this over one long weekend a year.
Also, Jasper wrote letters to the council demanding the Nevins were banned from the area.
But look at this. Serena Wyam was crowned Harvest Queen in 1979.
When her maiden name was Harris.
And who's this next to her? This is Butch Nevins.
And Jasper Wyam.
They don't look to be feuding much in that picture.
So, apart from marriage, what happened between the Harvest Fair of 1979 and the Harvest Fair of 1980 that turned this relationship so toxic?
That's what we need to find out.
Where are you, darling? Amy? Oh my God. Oh my God. Amy? Amy? Amy!
Two of you up at the top, two of you around the side.
Serena just took off looking for her. I don't know where she went.
Try to stay calm, Mr. Wyam. We've got every available officer out looking for your granddaughter.
But I think it's time you started being straight with us.
What do you mean?
In 1979, something happened between you and Butch Nevins. What was it?
But what on earth's that got to do with anything?
I believe it's of vital importance. 3 people have been murdered, your granddaughter's missing. What happened?
But it was just a stupid fling. Long been forgotten. Ancient history.
Serena and Butch?
Yes, Mr. Barnaby. Before we were married, Serena had a brief liaison with Nevins.
That was autumn 1979. Yet you still got married early the following spring?
We were engaged at the time of her involvement, and she fell pregnant by Nevins. I had to bring the wedding forward for appearances.
1980. Harry wasn't that child.
What happened to the baby?
We agreed to tell everyone it was stillborn. It was given up for adoption.
Did Butch know about this?
He was told it died like everyone else.
Who else knew the truth?
Only us and Clara.
Did you ever find out what happened to the child after it was adopted?
No, we didn't know anything. Then, last year, there was a letter from the adoption agency. The child was trying to get in touch.
Do you still have this letter?
Amy! Amy! Amy!
Ro, Amy's gone missing. I think Jessica may have taken her. Please, please call me.
It's from the adoption agency. The child Serena gave up sought her help. They wanted her to have a blood test, establish if she was a match.
What for?
Some medical matter.
A medical emergency. Whoever sent this was clearly trying to find a viable donor.
What did you do?
We declined. You have to understand, we had Harry and Beth to think about. Amy, we didn't want this muck dragged up.
The letter also asked Serena to make the biological father aware.
Did you contact Butch Nevins?
No. I didn't think it for the best.
Thank you, Mr. Wyam. I'll get on to the adoption agency. We need to find out who was asking for Serena's help.
What are you doing? Are you looking out the window?
Thank you. It was Niall and Rowena Dealey who were trying to contact Serena. It was their daughter who needed the donor.
Isn't Rowena Amy's childminder?
Come on, lovely. Time to go.
Where are we going?
Surprise for you.
Okay, thanks. The Dealey's car's been spotted up at Oak Woods.
I'm here. So what's this about?
I'll explain. Come and have a drink.
Amy! Mummy!
What are you going to do? I'll take her as far away from this place as I can. Somewhere safe.
Come on, pick up.
Black dog?
Niall? It's Serena. Amy's gone missing. I'm on my way to the village to look for her.
What?
Is Rowena there?
No. No, she's not at the minute, but she'll be back soon. Why don't you come over?
I'll help you look for her.
Okay. Okay, I'll be there in a minute.
Time to go, come on.
Mummy!
Come on.
Please don't let them take my
Turn around,
baby
please.
from
Jessica,
me.
turn around.
Amy!
Jessica Myerscough, I'm arresting you on suspicion of aggravated burglary and conspiracy to kidnap. You do not have to say anything, but it may harm the defence if you do not mention when questioned something you relate to the lie.
The way the Wyams treated Jessica was horrendous. No mother should be denied seeing her child. I'm not sorry I took Amy for her.
Why do you feel so strongly about it?
I know what it's like to lose a child. No mother should go through that.
What happened to your little girl?
She was sick. She needed a kidney transplant, but we couldn't find a donor.
Were your families tested?
My relatives were. But Niall was adopted. He's never had any contact with his biological parents. He doesn't know who they are.
Fancy another?
Thanks. Think I'll be heading, yeah?
Oh, come on, what's the rush? Have another drink.
No, thanks, Niall. Not the time, yeah? Let us out, Niall.
I don't think so. Dad?
I need all available units diverted to the Black Dog pub. Proceed with caution. The suspect could be armed.
Oh, thank goodness.
Serena, come in. Ruby's just waiting for you.
Get out. Just run.
Over there! Move! Well, here we all are then. One big happy family. I've wondered for so long what this moment would feel like. Both of you finding out what you did to the son you abandoned.
Abandoned? You're mistaken. You're no child of mine.
Locked. This way.
She never told you.
I didn't want to give you up.
Tell me
I
what?
thought it was the right thing.
Serena?
When I was pregnant, our baby didn't die.
You told him I died.
I just didn't know what else to do.
We had a son. How could you keep that from me?
Sorry.
And even after you got my letter, you still didn't think to tell him.
What letter?
I needed your help. My little girl, she was sick. I never asked either of you for anything, but I needed you to help me. I was trying to save her life.
I didn't know.
Well, of course you didn't know! You just run around getting people pregnant, don't you? How many other illegitimate kids have you got out there?
Mr. Dealey.
Don't come any closer. I need to finish this.
You were talking about your little girl. Don't you want them to know what happened to her?
She died. We couldn't find a donor in time.
That must have been terrible.
It didn't have to happen. They let her die. So I needed them to feel the same pain.
I understand. You killed Harry and Dale, so both of them would know how it feels.
You killed my son.
Oh, God.
Why Clara, Niall? Why did she have to die?
I hated doing that. She was a friend and she told me everything. And once she figured out who I was...
I can't imagine what you've been through. But this has to stop now.
You have no idea! I promised her. I promised her it would all be all right. But I had to watch my little girl get sicker and sicker, and there was nothing I could do. I was her dad. I was supposed to help.
I never meant for your daughter to die. No one should lose a child. I wish I could go back and make it different. I should have done something to help. I'm so sorry.
I can't forgive you. I have to pay.
Niall, stop! You won't ever forget what you've suffered. Doing this won't take away the pain of losing your daughter. What happened to her wasn't right or fair. But sometimes no one is to blame. Not Butch or Serena. Not you. It's time for all this to stop.
All I ever wanted was to be a good dad. I miss her so much.
Dad.
All right, son? Your granddaughter's safe, Mrs. Wine. She's at home with your husband.
Thank you. I never got to hold him when they took him away. I told myself it would get easier, but it never did.
It's quite something, isn't it? The power of the love between parent and child, even after all these years.
It's a bond that can never be broken. One way or another, you can never really escape from your family, Nelson.
Oh, no. I thought I'd donated those to charity.
But they're my favourites.
Have you back your passport?
Oh, you won't be needing that. Surprise.
Well, yes, it is. What about La Rochelle 2003?
What about Torquay 2007?
Is it the same van? No. Hello? Hello? Oh, hello, Cam.
Oh.
Hi.
Hello.
Is Sykes
Come to
ready?
pick up Sykes. I'm afraid there's been a change of plan.
Right.
Sykes is coming with us.
Great.
Not a problem. Sykesy!
Enjoy your holiday.
Send us a postcard. Torquay, here we come.
Dog biscuit.
I've got a better idea. Come on. Come on.
1. Oh, yes!
Prize every time. Well done. Well done. Love.
Good shot.
Oh, thank you.
No, I was talking about mine.
Cam, it was my ball that did it.
Yours was miles away, really. I can teach you how to throw a ball.
Coming round the mountains, you'll be coming round the mountains when she comes. Oh, you can't shove your granny off the bus. Oh, you can't shove your granny off the bus. Oh, you can't shove your granny, because she's your man.
Hi.